man, I got to talk about. Definitely gonna talk about the situation with Sonia Massey. I'm gonna break that down into segments. People been asking me what's my thoughts on it. Of course, I'm gonna talk. But you guys already know I talk about these type of things, so it's just when I get to it. But I'm definitely gonna talk about it today. I'm getting ready to head out in about an hour to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. But it's kind of funny. It's funny what a difference a year or two makes. Just a couple of years ago and all last year, Charles Barkley was singing the high praises of Adam Silver, talking about what a great commissioner he is and how he lays down the law and all that stuff. He ain't, at the end of the day, no, he doesn't. At the end of the day, he's just a corporate, you know what. And that's all it come down to. And some people don't feel sorry for Charles Barkley based off the changing of the guards when basically Amazon uh basically takes over, covering the NBA. Now the NBA finds themselves involved in a lawsuit with TNN. At the end of the day, I'm gonna break that down too and ask the question: is Adam Silver just being petty? Did he, was his feelings hurt when David Glasscloth made the comments about we don't need the NBA? And also on the flip side, did that come back to haunt them? And did it, you know, uh, was sort of like the nail in the coffin? But with that being said, a lot of people are just saying, "Hey, we don't feel bad for Charles Barkley because Charles Barkley always finds himself on the wrong side of history." Because keep in mind, Charles Barkley went out of his way to defend Drew Brees when Drew Brees made his questionable comments about the national anthem. Charles Barkley said it was overkill, but then at the same time, this is the same Charles Barkley that was going in on anybody, including Kyrie Irving, who had issues about taking the potion. And then he launched this attack on Kyrie Irving, talked about that Adam Silver, uh, it's his league. At the end of the day, it isn't really his leagues. Actually, the owners pay his salary. Really, he works for the owners and, the board of trustees and all that kind of stuff. So, with that being said, um, a lot of people came on my channel and said, "Oh well," with Charles Barkley because they remember some of the things he said and done. Charles Barkley has a history of wagging his finger and throwing black people under the bus, but then he goes out of his way to defend the others. And we all know that show that he had, um, with Gail King flopped, only last about 6 months before they pulled it off the air because nobody cared. At the end of the day, um, Charles Barkley is just a dude, sometimes he gets out of his lane. When it pertains to talking basketball, that's cool. But when it pertains to talking other stuff, Charles Barkley isn't the go to guy that I want to have a discussion with about politics, and other issues. Not saying that the dude isn't smart or anything like that, but he's kind of like a dude I wouldn't talk to him about that particular subject. Look, I'm not an expert on politics and never said I was, but I just give my assessment best of my abilities. So a lot of people are just saying this with Charles Barkley. Some people are just saying, you know what? Fuck Charles Barkley. We don't care. We do not care. Charles Barkley has made a lot of enemies in particularly in the black community with his constant, cooning. And this is say that Charles Barkley hasn't cooned is putting it lightly. At the end of the day, when he was assessing the situation with Kyrie Irving saying that my daughter married a white man and I'm proud of that, nobody asked you that. And at the end of the day, if it's the daughter that we seen pictures of, well, we glad she married a white man. And to sit up there and try to make that backhand disrespectful comment towards black men, that turned a lot of people off to Charles Barkley. And you just got to admit it. You don't have to disrespect black men as a whole. And that, like I said, the criticism that Kyrie Irving got was just unjust and it was unfair. The way they demonized Kyrie Irving was beyond comprehension. It was beyond comprehension, and a lot of people didn't get it. I mean, they went out to destroy him. Everybody from that fake black bitch Malika Andrews to a few other people. Another phony. Another phony. But you already see how mainstream media works. They push agendas, just like they pushing this Kamala Harris fake agenda, you know. But I'm gonna speak on that later on. But a lot of people, they just don't feel bad for Charles Barkley because they said, "Hey, Charles, you were doing this on a regular basis. You were throwing brothers under the bus. You wasn't protecting us. You wasn't defending us." And then, when we called you out on it, every once in a while, you might say something, but it's not going to be to the point to where you're going to get in trouble with them white folks. Just like now, all of a sudden, 50 Cent want to talk about that racist judge that they're trying to get removed from her seat. Yeah, and the only reason why 50 Cent is saying anything because 50 Cent has been getting called out about that. Listen, these guys have publicists, they have people that look and see what's going on and what's being said about them. And probably one of his PR people say, "Hey, 50, the black community is getting mad at you because they say you constantly only argue and go back and forth and attack black people. And you ain't saying nothing about this." And then what's gonna happen is he'll speak on it, and then his fanboys are gonna say, "See, 50 speak on stuff like this." Nah, not on a regular basis. It's a difference between doing something because it's the right thing to do and then doing something because you are under tremendous pressure. That's what dudes like Charles Barkley does. That's what dudes like 50 Cent does. But then at the same time, these are the same people when something happened to them, then they want to holler about black people need to stick together. No. But then again, Charles Barkley is so deep into his cooning, he can't say nothing like that because nobody won't take him serious. So, he blasted Adam Silver for saying that they only care about money and they don't care about the fans. For the most part, that's how it's always been. Money doesn't translate to a whole bunch of money doesn't translate to quality. That's been proven time and time again. You don't have to spend $200 million to make a good movie. It comes down to the writing and the acting. You can have all the special effects in the world, but that doesn't translate to being a great movie. Like I said, once again, it comes to the vision of the film by the director, the acting, and the script. That's what makes a good movie. Are you buying what these characters is trying to sell you on the screen? Are you buying this character that the actor is portraying? That's what makes a good movie. Are you into the character? You know. So now, of course, the NBA only cares about profit. Adam Silver, that was his moniker when he first took over for David Stern. He wanted to turn the NBA to a global, commercial, universal product. And if it meant to a certain degree, making it more diversified, changing the rules to where more unathletic white Eastern Europeans could play the game efficiently and be effective, then so be it. This Caitlin Clark stuff is happening for a reason. Whether people like it or not, they felt the NBA was too black. And they got tired of the NBA players, in particularly the black players, being the face of the league, running the league, being the best players. They really didn't have a legitimate white boy to throw in the mix. So that's why they adjusted the game. So guys like, now Dirk was Dirk. Dirk balled. Larry Bird was Larry Bird. So that's why they adjusted it to guys like Luka could play and Luka could ball. Luka could ball. And that's just real talk. And the guy in Denver, that's why they made the adjustments. You can see right through this stuff. You can see right through it. It's easy to see what's going on. The problem is when you put out and talk about what's going on, people get mad. They say, "Why are you making this about race?" Because that's what it's about. That's what it comes down to. These white boys, the NBA, They want their game back. For the last 40 years, 40 plus years, the face of the league have been black men to a game that they invented. But we made it a $1 billion entity. So what's going on is to make it a global product, you need more global appeal. So that's why they started boosting up the Joker and Luca and all those type of dudes. And like I said before, they're excellent ball players, but they adjusted the game to where it would be easier for the less athletic Eastern European players to play in the league. Just keeping it 100. Just keeping it 100. So that's why in all likelihood the NBA took the Amazon deal versus the TNT deal. Do TNT got a case? Absolutely. Will they win? I don't know. Probably what's going to happen is they're going to probably reach an undisclosed settlement. Probably the NBA will just reach a settlement and that'll just be it. Because they claim what happened was they said that the NBA, when they was negotiating, they tried to add extra stuff in. And that's where everything apparently went wrong. I don't know what requests and requirements the NBA asked for during the negotiations with TNT / Warner Brothers, but there was something that they asked for that basically TNT wasn't willing to accommodate them where Amazon was. And that's why they decided to go the Amazon route versus TNT. And then it's something about the money where TNT makes payments into escrow account where basically Amazon pays them flat out. So that could be an issue. So I'm giving you the details of what's going on. But when it goes down and it comes down to Charles Barkley losing his job. Now, according to reports, Amazon said that they are willing to hire everybody from inside the NBA. Now we all know that Turner Broadcasting and TNN and Warner Brothers owns the rights to the show. Are probably it got to be obvious that they own the name, so they wouldn't be able to call it Inside the NBA. But they said that they're willing to hire everybody. But Charles Barkley insists on when it's over, saying he's going to retire. And Charles Barkley signed like some 10-year, $210 million contract. My thing is with Charles Barkley, here's the thing. First of all, I don't understand TNT signing a deal like that with Charles Barkley or brokering a deal with Charles Barkley if they knew that their NBA rights was going to be possibly in jeopardy come this year. I don't understand that. Why would you give a dude like that a contract like that? Just in case. What they should have did is gave Charles Barkley what you would call a short big contract. Say, hey, for the next 2 years, we'll pay you $20 million a year, $25 million a year. And then if we secure the rights for the next 11 years for the NBA, then we'll renegotiate your contract. So I just don't understand them giving Charles Barkley a contract of that magnitude if they wasn't sure that they were going to keep the NBA or if they even wanted the NBA. So like I said, Charles Barkley, he could be mad at Adam Silver all he wants, but like I said before, this might be your karma. Because you guys could have fought a little harder, or should I say, you should have fought a lot harder. Because at the end of the day, the problem in media when it comes to pushing a narrative, they push it. They all, you know what I'm saying? They all congregate and they discuss what narrative they're going to push at the expense of whoever whoever the agenda is for or against, whatever you want to call it. So they were pushing this agenda against Kyrie Irving to demonize that man. But yet they didn't say nothing about Josh Giddey. They didn't say nothing about the numerous incidents that happened with non-black NBA players, NBA owners, NFL owners, Major League Baseball owners. You know, that's just real talk. And a lot of times these guys jump on that bandwagon. And I don't like it. And then when we call this out, we call out the blatant double standard, the blatant racism that's going on. Then here we go with people trying to dismiss it. Now it's funny, they want to sit up here and holler about racism doesn't exist when the victim or the people that's being victimized by racism is black people. But now all of a sudden, everybody is hollering about that Caitlin Clark is a victim of racism. If anybody says anything bad about her or just critiques her, if you don't kiss Caitlin Clark's ass, then all of a sudden it's reverse racism. And then you got not only white people playing that game, you got a lot of these black clowns playing that game because they know if you play off racism, you know, it can lead to popularity and it can be very lucrative. Me, not doing that. Can't do it, won't do it. And that's just really how I roll. So a lot of people are just saying, hey, tell Charles Barkley, I don't give a fuck about him. He brought it on himself. That's what he get for cooning. So now it's like he got to live with it. I mean, as far as Gilbert Arenas go, Gilbert Arenas, like I said, I am not a big fan of Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas has a history of saying just stupid and ill-advised stuff. So I have to defend him to the point to where y'all got to have the same energy. Now, all of a sudden, white people claiming racism towards them, which I think is just the most laughable thing that they could ever put out there. You can't be racist if you don't control anything. Black people don't control anything. We don't control anything, not in the States. We don't control the media. We don't control the resources. And that's why they that's why they really push for integration instead of segregation being separate but equal. They didn't want us to have equality. They wanted us to dump all our money into white businesses or non-black businesses and make everybody else rich except each other. And then a lot of times they use psychology. The biggest psychology that they love to use on black people, unfortunately, is religion. They love to holler about what the Bible say concerning this, concerning that, but then they don't practice what's said in the Bible. They damn selves. So that's the most laughable thing. I'm not laughing at religion. I'm laughing at how the hypocrisy that goes on here. So with that being said, I just wanted to put that out there about Charles Barkley. Love to hear what you guys think. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.